Well, I feel like doing something kind of creative today, so I think what I'll do, if I can figure out which drawer, there we go. Got the hammer drawer here. See, I got a couple old handles here. I just use them to pound with. Yeah, my dad used to put handles on these guys, you can see. Anyway, he's not around to do that anymore. And so I think what I'm going to do, I just picked this hammerhead up at a pawn shop recently. It's, you know, it is what it is, but it'll work for something around here, but needs a handle. So I think what I'm going to do, I've got a couple in there that I had set aside for him. This one was not one of them. So I'm going to start on this one, see if I can do a good job. Go back here, back in the hoard. It's all about the hoard. And see what we can find. And here is the box of hammer handles. And anyway, I'm going to pick one that'll probably, you know, it'll work on this guy. So I think that looks like a pretty good handle, and I think that end there is large enough to fit. And yeah, and the hammers, you want the grain to run, well, if you're looking at it that way in a vertical fashion, this one's got a slight angle to it, but it'll work out. So I think I'm going to use this handle and see if I can do this. There we go. You can see it's got a metal wedge in it. So I'll drill down beside that thing and loosen it up a bit and see if I can knock that thing out of there. I'll probably reuse that metal wedge. Get something there. There we go. Here's that chunk of metal. Oh, the metal wedge they got in this one here is a penny. So that's kind of interesting. I think the way my dad did it to start out was to use his pocket knife to get the basic shape. His pocket knives were like razors. Yeah, being as he was a surgeon for so many years, everything he had was sharp. But I think I'm going to do it a different way. Probably use a hand hacksaw and cut my basic kind of shape here. And we'll see how it goes. I got the basic shape there, and yeah, I'm going to use my wood rasp or my Bondo cutter, whatever I want to call it today. It's going to be a wood rasp today. To actually, it's a body file. Anyway, I'm going to use a pretty aggressive type file to cut it down a little more. Well, I guess we can see what I got now. And it's all the way down tight. It's not the right size handle in diameter anyway for this particular hammerhead, but I'll file it all down there, taper it out a little bit, maybe it'll look alright. Got a little extra there, so I'll go ahead and cut that off flush, and then I'll put a wedge down in there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to reuse this penny wedge. I guess you can see the date on there. Looks like 1941. So that's an old penny. Probably some pretty good copper. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shape it a little bit so it'll go down in there a little easier and reuse it. It's not good for much else. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Well, there you go. Old Honest Abe is down there in the middle of this now, so yeah, pretty good hammer. Probably come in handy for a lot of things. It's probably a rock hammer, I don't know what it is, but when I found it at the pawn shop there, you know, for $1, I figured this hammerhead was worth it, so that's what I gave him for it. Yeah, it's all rounded off here on the pointy end, and I think I'm going to leave it that way. The face, however, is a bit rounded off as well. I'll probably flat that off a little bit. But I'm going to reshape a little bit on the handle and call it good. And I'll call that a hammer face. This end here is kind of blunt and round, which will probably come in handy. I think there's a couple little kind of chinks out of it, so I'll go ahead and smooth it off a bit. Probably use it as some kind of a shaping hammer, body style hammer, but not bad for $1. And a bit of labor, which isn't actually labor because I kind of had a good time with it. And I got a little something done. So didn't end up wasting my whole day.
Organic coffee, sandwiches for breakfast and lunch, and Wi-Fi. Proud to support KBOO. Rentals is open every day at East Burnside and 8.
There you go.
Information at 503-595-950.
I think it'll work out good.
Or at
Thanks for watching.
And